it's Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely, where we carry the largest selection of wood flowers in the United States. Welcome back to another tutorial. This tutorial is going to be a little emotional for myself, so bear with me while we do this. I'm going to try really hard not to cry. Recently, Maggie, my business partner, the other half of Oh You're Lovely, lost her mom. And we are going to be having her celebration of life. And Maggie has requested that I make an arrangement. So that's what we're going to do today. I do have permission from her to share this with you guys. So we're gonna pull this together. Maggie's mother loved the color purple, so we're gonna be doing a lot of purple flowers. And we do have a little surprise at the end of this as well that was requested. And we'll go through also maybe, I guess, the process of a custom order and the things to ask when you're getting ready to create something for someone. So let's do this, shall we? All right, so breaking down having a custom order. First thing, Maggie had requested a silver vase, so I pulled out everything I had to give her options, and we went with this one in particular, which I believe I got at a thrift store. I'm pretty sure though it's like 2 pieces that was put together and then spray painted, so I let her know that, all of that stuff up front to make sure that she still wanted to go with this piece, which she did, so perfect. And when I sent her pictures, because if you don't know this, Maggie and I live states away. She's in North Carolina, that's where all of our orders ship from, and I'm in Wisconsin here at my home studio. So I sent her videos of a whole group of the photos, as well as individual, or a whole group of all of the vases, and then so you could kind of see the height differences, and then individually each of them as well. So this was the one she picked. Next thing that we did is I went to Pinterest once I had an idea of the color scheme, which was just purple, which is great. We can do that. Oh no! I'm gonna clean that up in a second. But we can do purple. So then what I did was I went to Pinterest and started pulling inspiration for the shape of the arrangement. So I knew we were gonna be doing a pedestal. I needed to know if it was gonna be a more modern, like a swooping up, swooping down. Is it gonna be more just a round piece, things like that. Once she picked out some of her favorite shapes, then I could go off of that. She did have a couple other requests. There's a couple pieces of greenery that she was hoping that we could include in there. And then the greenery. Now, you guys, we're extra around here. So this is a mix of past greenery that we've carried at Oh You're Lovely, some stuff from my stash, things that I found at thrift stores, and there was a couple that I needed to get from one of the craft stores for the flow and the texture that we were wanting to create. So this is not gonna obviously all fit in here. Well, I could try, but we're not going to. It's not a challenge like that today. But I just pulled a whole bunch of different greenery. We've had greenery in the past that did have purple in it, so I was gonna use some of that. I pulled some other silk flowers as well to throw in there. So yeah, there is our greenery. My goodness, it's lovely, isn't it? So we're gonna start building our base with all of our greenery and flowers. I'm gonna clean up the mess that I just made, and we'll get to building this beautiful centerpiece for Maggie's mom. Now the first thing I wanted to start with is this mixed greenery, and that's going to really fill in our space quite a bit. I'm planning on using that really just to build a quick, fast base because it has all of the colors and kind of textures that I'm gonna want. I did put a piece of floral foam in here, and I did glue it in here, so hopefully it stays put. You never know though with that stuff, but we should be okay. I'm just going to shape that. Ooh, those are big stems. And we're just gonna kind of crisscross this and fluff it open to help fill in our space. And we've already got a really great base started. Now there was a request from Maggie for clematis, and this is the closest I could find, just so we have some wispy ends coming through. The other thing I'll note too is if I do see the floral foam peeking through at the end, I'll probably throw in some moss, just kind of tucking it in into spots, just to hide that a little bit. And the nice thing about this greenery is a lot of it is all wired up, so I can bend it and put it in different spots as needed. And I am going to consider this to be a 360 arrangement, so I'm going to be paying attention to all sides of this. Now this one's a little too long, so I'm going to clip that. And we're going to put it up in here. So we have that coming in different spots. There we go. Okay, great. Now let's fill it in with the rest of our filler. And here's where we're gonna start putting in some purple. Again, this was a past filler that we had that had eucalyptus and purple berries with it. And I'm gonna do a mirroring effect, purple here, purple there. Also have these faux cosmos. We're also going to add some cream in there, so it's just not a whole block of purple, but I think I'm only going to use one stem of these. And this is just going to add for texture. And when I say one stem, I mean one full stem, and then I'm cutting them down into individual stems. I feel good about our greenery. I think it's time. There is a little bit of a kind of a sinking in here, so I think let's grab something else just to kind of zhuzh that up a little bit, give it a little bit more. We'll just do, yeah, let's do that. I wonder if we can even put it in as is. There we go. Now I have some continuity with that. All right, I think our greenery base is set. Now it's time to add in all of our lovely flowers. All right, so flower time. I'm gonna start, I think, with this batch, because I think that's closer to the kind of color story that she wanted. The other request that we had, so we're gonna throw in some Mona Lisas that look like anemones, again, to break up that purple. And then Maggie had requested some of our peonies with just pink centers. So I took some holy powder and just dusted those in that pink. So here's the kind of color story that we have. I do also have, these flowers are for sure gonna need to be in here. These are Helens, which are named after Maggie's mom. If you didn't know, a lot of the flowers we name after family members, women that we admire, and we continue to do that as we get new flowers in. So we're definitely gonna have the Helens in there, and those are going to be prominent in this particular arrangement. So let's start pulling this all together, shall we? I think what I'm gonna start with is my darker purples first. And I do have 5 of those. Once we get those laid in, then we know where we need to like bring some light to, so that we can play with our balance of colors. Now there's 2 things. Maggie had mentioned not to make it just a wall of flowers. We wanted a nice balance of greenery and flowers. So I am going to try to hold my extra self back a little bit, so you guys can let me know in the comments if I was able to accomplish that. And I also want the flowers though to stay a little bit more hugging in the arrangement versus getting up there. I want some of this wild and wispiness to be still seen and not kind of covered by the amount of flowers. And again, this is going to be a 360 arrangement, so I am paying attention to both sides, and I'm doing triangles. If you have watched any centerpiece or even bouquet with me, pretty much there's always going to be a discussion or a mention of triangles as we're creating. That is just how we do things around here. I'm just gonna put my one anemone in first. I will keep adding in the anemones as we go on. I know normally I kind of, gosh, I'm throwing everything around. I know normally I do things in blocks as far as each style flower I put in at a time, but the anemones I feel like I need to put in as I see fit where they need to be. So we'll just kind of keep adding them as we go. And we're getting close to the flowers. Like I should start slowing down a little bit on the flowers so that we don't fill in everything. We want some breathing room. So with that in mind, I think I am going to start adding in the rest of the anemones, since I do want all three in there. With these, I'm just filling in spots that are feeling a little bare compared to the rest. And while the threes are still important in triangles, are a little bit harder to do once we get a little bit in here. All right, I think we're ready for our special surprise. So let me go get that ready and we'll add it into the arrangement. The surprise that we're adding, now these are they're a little delicate, so we gotta be careful. But we're gonna be adding butterflies. I couldn't find a ton of purple ones, so I did grab some orange ones too, because I just kind of felt like those would go well. They are put in by wires, so when Maggie sees this, she doesn't want to see it until I present it to her at the celebration. So if she doesn't like the orange ones, we'll just pull those out afterwards. But I just took them, they were already on a wire stem. Now, like I said, they are delicate. One of them, the wings came right off, I had to re-glue that. But then I just took another piece of wire and I wrapped it around there, leaving some of that length of the original wire so we can kind of have it appear to be floating, or we can get it so it sits right on a flower as we want it to. I just am really honored that Maggie is entrusting me with this piece because it is just so special. Those who do grievance pieces and pieces for funerals, things like that, I don't know, because of how much of an emotional person I can be, I don't know that I could do that it's such an honor, but I would just be an emotional wreck all the time, and people would be like, my gosh, girl, get it together. So I'm very honored to get to do this for her and her family. All right, so there's those, and I gotta get one in the back, because again, it is a 360 piece, but for whatever reason, I'm really loving this side a little bit extra hard. We'll make sure the other side gets their little whimsy as well. So there we go. there is the piece. All right, you guys, there is the memorial piece for Helen. Again, this is Maggie's mother's celebration of life we'll be celebrating coming up shortly. It's so hard to wrap up a video like this. I don't really have a lot of words for it. So let's just do the regular things, and please bear with me on that, okay? Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to leave a comment, thumbs up, all of those things, it does really help the channel. If you are the praying type, or put out good feelings out into the universe, whatever you do, please keep Maggie and her family in your thoughts as they go through this time. And yeah, I lose words when it comes to very sentimental and meaningful things. Words just leave me because I just want to cry, but I'm not going to. Okay, let's do the normal YouTube things. It's a little weird on a piece like this, but let's do it, shall we? If you're loving this channel, can't get enough, want to know the next time we post a video, which is typically on Wednesdays, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell to find out about the 150 style Sola wood flowers, along with craft supplies and greenery. Go to ohyourlovely.com, but before you do, let me give you something. Use the code YouTube30 to get 30% off your first order. All right, you guys, it's really weird to wrap up a video like that because it always comes out of my mouth because it's memorized now at this point. It's like I could say it in my sleep, but it is very hard on a day like this for a piece like this that means so much. But we will wrap it up as we always do. To Maggie, I love you. And Helen, you will be missed. All right, you guys, we will see you next week for not so downer of a piece. I also hope this helped a little bit if you've ever gotten a custom request, kind of the flow of what to do and how to talk through the process. Typically, the one thing I'll note, and then I will stop this video. The one thing I will note is typically in a situation like this, communication is absolutely the top thing, as well as if you are a distance from the person as you're making the piece. Lots of pictures, lots of videos as you're going through the process. Maggie trusted me to just do my thing. Thank you for that, Maggie. But if it was at any other time, or if she would have requested it, because I did ask if she wanted to see pictures throughout the process, she said, no, just do your thing. But typically you would be sending lots of communication just to make sure you both are on the right track, or you're on the right track of what they were envisioning. And yes, I will see you guys next week. All right? I'm Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely, and you, my friends, absolutely lovely. Bye, guys.